Welcome to another episode of Everybody's Got Something. I'm your host, Seth Hoffman. Today we are blessed with founding members of the Withdrawals, Keith Kavula, Andy Dunn. Here we are.
Nice. Good to be here, Seth.
What a joy and an honor. So it's a joy. Many of you have seen these fellas on stage, but we have the honor to get to hear their story and get to know them a little bit off stage. So why don't we start with you, Keith? Why don't you just tell us about, maybe tell us the Withdrawals.
Withdrawals.
How did it start? When did you meet Andy? How did you guys birth this creation?
Yeah, tell them about how you came to New Mexico.
Oh, yeah. Well, I came on the Pope Choice Scholarship for classical piano. I had a very, very great performance here with the Greek Concerto. That year I afterwards ran into Andy at the college.
And when are we talking about?
87, 88.
87,
yeah.
88.
And then there was a point in time where we were working out of this, a friend of ours had a house down South Valley, and he and I were just playing one night or day it was, and we just knew that we could support each other, his lead with the piano and the weaving, and so that kind of got us all started.
And had you been in a band before, bands?
I had a couple of things when I was, in high school, but I played 4 or 5 different church services. I mean, so I've been in choirs, did all those kind of things very early on, boys choir and whatnot. Yeah. So I had a pretty high voice. I wasn't anticipating being the lead singer. I kind of wanted to just be the piano player and hang out and listen to the guitar player, but
none of the rest of us could sing, so
and
he could.
Yeah, it was more about, for me, if I couldn't be in a band where they were singing flat or sharp too much, it would be driving me nuts.
Yeah.
But and so we met, and then from there we kind of based it around fly fishing and freedom and beer and going around touring rock and roll and kind of living free like that.
So how soon after you met did the conversation be like, hey, this seems pretty cool, what about forming something?
Getting something going. Well, pretty much immediately. I mean, one of the things, so we had a mutual friend named Matt Temkin, and Matt heard me playing the guitar in my dorm room. I was in college studying architecture at the time, and Keith was in the music school. And Matt was like, dude, you got to meet my friend Keith. He's this pianist, and he goes to Keith, you got to meet my friend Andy. He's a guitarist. So we hooked up.
So they had the vision before even.
Well, he saw us both separately and thought that we would, fit together, And so the first time we played was up at your place up there by the tramway, and I didn't have a lot of experience playing with other band members in this context. I mean, I played in band in junior high school and played the trumpet and things like that.
Yeah.
And so on the first time we got together and played, I was playing guitar and he was playing the piano, and we were playing the same tune, but we were coming at it from totally different angles. And the way it fit together, we looked at each other like, man, that's something else, I would have never heard it like that, and we just. So
that just came organically. It's not like you try this. It's just
no.
naturally did what you did.
Yeah, from the first get-go, it was we both recognized that there was something that we complemented each other in a really cool way.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And so there was a mutual friend too that was a drummer, and he got in on it, and we had a.
And who was that original drummer?
Chris Chavis, a local Albuquerque fella. And so we were all pretty gung-ho about having a rock band, because that's what turned us on as kids. It's like you listen to those songs that touch your heart, and then you get excited. And so we kind of had that sort of same excitement of playing together. And I think right from the beginning we were looking at getting a band together and playing some music and getting good and trying to proliferate this tradition of rock music that we grew up on and loved.
And when did the name Withdrawals come? Was that early on, or were you guys just playing as Keith and
That
Andy?
was 95.
So it was quite a while later that the name
we
came.
had a couple incarnations. I think the first name was Sandstone, And then we had a few gigs under the band called UCS, Unconditioned Stimulus. The woman that named the Withdrawals.
UCS.
Exactly,
Yeah,
exactly.
exactly.
There were some people, there's a few people that might even know about it.
Yeah.
So Keith was dating a woman at the time who was into psychology. She was a psychology student. She's now a psychologist in Colorado.
Okay.
And she came up with the first band name of UCS, and then she also helped come up with the name of the Withdrawals. She had mentioned that as a name, and we were like, yeah, that's pretty cool. You know, it's like, so they both kind of came from a psychologist mindset. Yeah. And unconditioned stimulus.
Yeah.
UCS.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think 95 was that about the time that Chris left, and then the Withdrawals didn't involve Chris. That involved our original bass player Joe Phillips, and our drummer was Ruben Reyes. And we were a 4-piece band at that time.
Played in the Heights a lot. We were one of the few bands that played original music in the Heights to make it out of there. And we had just stellar nights at a local place called the M&R Lounge. And she was working there, Julie at the time. But I remember there's a couple things about the name. One of them was that it would take a certain person to be able to get past the name to get into the door. So it took a free-minded person to get past. Oh, I'm going to go see the Withdrawals, which therefore then you had a free-thinking audience, and it just helped itself out. And there was little concepts about it, being able to withdraw your energy and then place it, so you have a little bit more. Control.
Yeah, it never really was so much of a drug reference or anything, as much as that you have the power to give, or the free will to give power to things you believe in, and the power to withdraw belief in the things you don't believe in.
See, for me, the name is like, I saw you guys once, and then I was getting Withdrawals. I got to see you guys again.
It took on that.
That's for me what I always associated with, like when. I was away for a number of years, and I'd see online, you guys are in Albuquerque. I'm like, oh man, come on.
We always had little catchphrases like, it sounds better than it feels. And,
and you're jonesing to see us again.
Right.
Yeah. And so you mentioned you were one of the few bands playing original music. Was there ever, there's always that temptation, if I play these cover songs, everyone will just be like, oh yeah, it's easier to kind of get the crowd when you're playing songs they know.
Right, it's a lot easier to make money in music, doing other people's music. My problem with it was there was a lot of lyrics in a lot of the rock and roll tunes that just were I kind of look at it as, if I'm going to say it, it's almost like saying it to the universe, the prayer or whatever.
Yes.
And the words that I personally were saying, there was a lot of hard times in those old, like, especially the glam rock stuff, there's like that kind of thing, But, so that's kind of what pushed us going in our own direction. We're going to make a good time, and hopefully everybody leaves here, feeling really good, basically that's what we do. And we the cool thing about our band is we can kind of change it around to meet other people's needs, whatever it is, whether it's a blues show, jazz show. We can go even spacey and trippy, and then a full-on rock show, So it's fantastic.
We'll still sprinkle a few covers here and there, just for fun. It's fun to play. Yeah, it's fun to do it, and then of course
and honor the people that have been before us.
Yeah. Of course, we love all kinds of different music.
And speaking of that, maybe each of you could say who were some of your biggest inspirations musically, instrumentally, songwriting-wise, that kind of made you excited to do what you're doing.
I mean, if I were when I was 5 years old, which would be about 1973, my folks took me to the Barnum and Bailey circus.
Oh, right.
And there was a 3-ring circus, and they had a little band playing. And at one point in the show, the drummer was just kicking this super simple beat, just boom, ba, boom, ba, and his head was going back and forth, and he was smiling like this, and the whole place was moving to this. And I was 5 years old, and I was like, I got these tingles up and down my back, and I'm like, at my neck, and I was like, what is this? Like, because everybody was just subliminally just sitting there, and it made everybody move, and I was like, I can't believe this is happening. Looking around, can you believe this? I'm looking at everybody just kind of like doing
I mean,
this.
it must have felt like this is like magic.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
mean,
and it turned me on huge to music, and I said, I want to be a part of that. I mean, that was what the
want
first
that
thing.
job. That sounds
Well, just that feeling was
Yeah.
something I'd never experienced before, and so that's what got me into it to begin with.
Yeah.
And my parents were both pretty musical. My mom was a prodigy cello player, and she played in the symphony when she was in high school. And she's just an outstanding mother, and she made music very available to her kids. You know, there were different instruments around the house, and you know, she loved Bach and Beethoven, and Chopin was probably her favorite, and she played a lot of that music around the house. And she used to play the cello quite a bit back in the younger years. And my dad would play the piano, and he'd play like kind of older popular songs, and he like the Kingston Trio and a lot of the 50s music.
Yeah.
And so those were my original biggest influences. But as far as in rock and roll,
You have like a favorite guitarist?
well, yeah, I was really into Rush when I was a kid, and I really love Alex Lifeson. I just love the diversity and all the different ways he plays the guitar, and how I would consider just very creative. And he was probably one of my first guitarists I fell in love with. But you know, I like, of course, I like Hendrix and Eric Clapton and David Gilmour, and there's a lot. And then Mark Knopfler is a big influence. Yeah, I mean, I also got into some heavier music too, and Jimmy Page was a pretty good influence. And
First time I saw you play, I was like, this guy plays like Jimmy Page.
there you go. There you go.
At Sonny's.
So, Seth, I also have an outstanding mother.
Yeah.
And,
Yeah, yes he does. Yes he
Tell me.
does.
And she was a choir director and organist for the church, and
So she, in the choir you were in?
or she would teach. Yeah, and the wildest thing was, I think it prepared me for being a lead singer. Is whenever one of the kids would get, you know, suddenly a stomach ache because they were scared to perform, I would have to fill in whatever their part was. So it was like
So you didn't
Johnny
know all
on the
this stuff.
spot, you know. But no, I just say that because she's out there, and I want her to know how outstanding my mom is.
Yes.
She would be yelling at me she'd hear my mistakes, and you'd hear, you know, from the other side, and I'd be like, oh, she's listening.
Thank you to the mothers of these fine boys. Appreciate you.
Rock
Thanks,
and roll
Mom.
moms.
Thanks, Mom. Thanks, Dale.
Yeah,
All
you
your
know.
parents, but the mothers have a special place.
Yeah, for sure. And then for me, for music, I mean, obviously I came in at classical. I really love jazz. But from our style of music, my first real and still J.J. Cale.
Oh,
yeah,
yes.
and it's just the way his comfortability. When I was on a school bus, and they had the old 8-tracks back then, and so I got a real good helping of rock and roll from my rock and roll bus driver named Bumper, but we call him Bumper. Bumper.
Did you realize
know?
the influence you had?
And so exactly, Bumper, you all had a fantastic influence on me, and so they had that J.J. Cale tune, "Lay Down Sally" with Clapton. He did it, and I was like, God, you know, I want to be able to write that easy breezy, feels good, you know, and so that's kind of been one of the people that I really appreciate.
Yes.
Yeah, he's a heck of an American songwriter.
Yeah.
So.
I love that Cajun Moon.
Oh, my
God.
I
Yeah,
know.
yeah.
That, I don't know if you know, but that Clapton album with him where they did that tribute to him, and it's got 5 different people on it. You know, it has Willie Nelson, John Mayer, you know, all types. Mark Knopfler's on it.
Terror Trucks.
But Eric Clapton, he produced it, and it's just, you don't feel like there's this disparate vocal thing with all these tunes put together. It just feels real good, you know.
Yeah.
Nathan Easton on that, bass player, you know.
Yeah.
So.
Well, I want to mention, I don't know if I may have shared, the first time that I personally saw you guys was at Sonny's. I know that I like to talk a little bit. That was a cultural thing for a lot of people. The first time I went there was shortly after I moved in town. We were looking for a place to play pool. We show up there, they're like, oh, there's maybe like $3 cover, I don't know, something like that. I'm like, but we're just here to play pool. And the door guy was so cool. He's like, listen, you guys, don't worry, you can go in, but if you're in there and you find yourself, you like the music, you come back and
pay that $3
and pay the cover. And I'm so thankful. I wish I could find that guy who's at the door, because I mean, I'm sure I would have seen you guys eventually, but I just remember we were playing pool, and I don't know, we maybe got through maybe one game, and then we're like, what's going on over there?
Yeah.
And
That was probably Bruce, huh?
could be.
Okay.
If
That's
I
a cool
I
door guy.
reckon if I saw the picture, I would recognize him. But I remember we gave the door guy like a 20 or something, like, man, just because out of appreciation for just, you know, letting us do that. And I think he had faith in what you all do.
Yeah.
But one of the things that I experienced, I know a lot of people experience this. I'm not someone growing up who's like, oh, I like to dance, or I'm going to go to a show and dance. I've never had the experience of literally being picked up out of my seat. I'm like, I don't know how to dance, but like you all like, you were like, they're playing me, like, you know. And,
that's cool.
And I know I'm not the only person. Anyone who's been to your show, you see people who are not necessarily the people who are the ones up on the dance floor, but something about what you do. And every time I ever see it, I'm just like, this is magic. This is like, it's magic. I don't know what's happening. I'm like, look, he's singing these words, he's playing these notes, he's playing these notes. But something, it's like the whole is greater than the parts kind of thing. Mm-hmm. And what you all create. So tell us how long did you play at Sonny's, and how did, just maybe you could talk a little bit about that chapter of time.
Yeah, so let's see. We started doing that as a result of Jerry Garcia's death. So
Okay.
Jerry Garcia died August 9th, 1995.
Mm-hmm.
And so everybody was getting, was interested in finding a place to all meet and just sort of celebrate the guy's life and stuff.
Yeah.
And so a lot of people accumulated over at Sonny's, and we had
Was
these-
it a weekly thing right off the bat, or was it
it
first
did
just
become
like
it did become a weekly thing pretty quickly, yeah. And so we ended up playing over there, and a lot of people came to kind of pay homage to that amazing musician Jerry Garcia.
Yeah.
And so there was a camaraderie or a coming together of people that was surrounded around that event that we wanted to get back together again.
Yeah.
And it blossomed into this situation where we would have the packed house over there every Tuesday.
Yeah,
It became
yeah.
the thing to do.
It was a place to be. For
And
sure.
it was really where we cut our teeth and learned how to play together even better and better. I mean,
It was like the Beatles, like a Cavern or whatever they played in Hamburg or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
right. And so I mean, you know, we did a lot of experimenting in music, and we did it in that out of Sonny's, and we really did sort of learn how to move a crowd and things by figuring it out, you know, by just getting up there and playing and just doing it every week. And we must have done that for
7 years.
7 years. We played there every Tuesday.
Incredible.
And then, you know, we also learned how to negotiate and try to grow our business and
Sure.
and explain to the establishment why, you know, it's time to make a little bit more money and things like that, which was always nerve-wracking. I've got some pretty good stories on the road of having to
Muscle out
get
the
paid,
money.
you know, like against an opposing force, and you know, and I'm pretty good at reasoning with people, so I've gotten to put that to the test. But no, Sonny's was a great house for us. I mean, Matt and Sonny really accommodated us over the years, and we became friends with their family, and just met a ton of the people that still see us today. We played this weekend, Memorial Day weekend.
I know when I was over at Canteen, at least, I was like looking around. I was like, I feel like, you know, it's like time travel.
Yeah. I mean, there's people that have been coming and seeing us from that same time, and we have different eras of time that people joined in the circus, and so it's really cool because we'll play, and then different people from different time periods will come out, and it really has become a huge community. And
I mean, because as much as the music, it's like when you know you go, there's going to be this welcoming, good time vibe that you emit from you know, your souls and your music. But that's going. It's like you're going to the best party, hear the best band, wherever you guys are. Just you can feel it.
Yeah, we've been really blessed in that way, and it is kind of humbling. Like people have met at our shows and gone on to have children that come to our shows, and it's a really like, as a musician, it's a kind of a really fulfilling experience. It's the best tender. Legal tender is the love that we get from the fans.
And that's something you can't buy.
Exactly. And it's really cool to be a part of something, part of the community in that way, and the culture. You know, it's been great. It's been great fun.
And so you said about 7 years.
Yeah.
And so was Was it? Were you excited each week? Was there ever like, was it like
every
were you,
week.
were you,
Every week without fail. We wanted to be there so bad every single time.
I mean, how could I
Especially
look
when
forward
they
to
had
Tuesday?
Jello shots. No, yeah, it was.
Sometimes it was hard, like if New Year's was the night before on Monday and we're there on Tuesday.
Still do it on Tuesday.
And we
do
did it
on Christmas
religiously,
Day
band,
or whatever.
band.
Yeah.
But there were times obviously that the band's gone through a lot of things. I mean, being on the road to the young musicians, there's a reason you're called a band. You have to come together, and you're working as a unit. And he's
Nice.
so, but yeah, so being on the road, it really that ties you in there. It's just crazy times now for musicians. Apparently after COVID, we lost a lot of places to play. So that's a whole nother level.
Want to do
of
a
it.
Zoom concert? Okay.
Yeah. Excuse me. So, but yeah, it's what I love about the band personally is just that it can be anything. It just moves so freely. We've worked well with these characters now. We have Mark Clark in the band, Brian Ostrom. We have Chuck Hawley, Adam Rahosi, and
Tony
Arant.
Yeah.
Excuse me.
Yeah.
And so, it's just been just a hoot to play with these guys. They're just fantastic.
You guys have been playing for 40, going on 40 years, something like that.
88. Oh my God! Why did you have to bring it up like that?
I mean, so
Wow. Yeah.
40 years, holy mackerel.
Yeah.
So for all these years, a lot of bands would say, okay, did it for a while, times get tough. I'm sure you haven't been without tough times. But what brings you coming back together, would you say?
Mutual respect and partnership in music. When you have somebody you play with that plays differently than you, but it really blends and gels. It makes playing just a lot more exciting, and then also having built something as cool as the Withdrawals, which has changed over time, and our music has evolved, and I don't know. I still enjoy doing it, and I know Keith enjoys doing it, and it's remained a priority in our lives.
Because now we're all in Albuquerque, and now.
And I've got children now, and I've got other ventures, but it's a hell of a good time. And I don't know really how to have a better time than getting together with the boys and rocking out. I mean, and I think that has a lot to do with it.
Yeah. Well, when something keeps being good like that, you're like, well, why go away?
For me, it's the new music that we've got 2 albums coming out, and we're working with this guy Bonsai Caruso. He's an engineer for the Marley family and a whole bunch of people. He's like a 6-time engineer, and we just got done with working in the studio. But it's the most efficient album I've ever done. I can't tell you how it's between he and I and Adam, and we're capable of being in a studio and almost knowing where to go. You know what I mean? And being innovative and putting down some phenomenal sounds. With this guy Mark Clark came out. Been doing recording out of the Hideout studio in Vegas. Very, very cool studio. And so we brought the drums out, and I listened to this new stuff, and it's just exciting. It's just it's something else, and to me that brings me back.
So I think that's it. Sounds like you're both continue to be excited about what you're doing.
Yeah, the music.
Right.
Really cool.
And I mean, the music we haven't made yet too, which we know is there, which is ultra exciting. It's ultra exciting.
We've definitely hit a new plateau with this album, and I think it's exciting too to know that we can get on this. Almost like putting together a recipe. We have the right people, the right places, and we know how to make the thing. And I foresee a real abundance of music and albums coming over the next 5-10 years.
Yes. Well, for one, I'm very excited and I'm looking forward to it. And we're going to show a clip from your recent show this past weekend. It's from at Canteen. Is
Yeah,
that
well, you know,
or is it a mix
it's a be a mix probably.
Awesome.
We had Lisa Law with us on tour basically,
Yeah.
and she became now a real
devotee.
fan. Yeah, a fan of the
Yeah,
band. She's got
nice.
Withdrawals already. She said, but so she took video of us. She's a special human being for
Yeah,
sure. She's been
yeah.
involved in rock and roll music
Yeah.
from the inception of it. So, but so yeah, this is a clip that she took of us.
All right. So let's enjoy that. Let's check it out.
Come down to the river, dang.
All right. Well, I was blessed to be at that Canteen show, and one of the, as exciting, in addition to the excitement of the music, is seeing the people there. It just it's like a reflection. What's that like? What's that like for you? I mean, I don't know. It sounds like a cheesy question. I mean, but what? Because I can only imagine. Because I'm on this side. It's like I feel like we're like a wave of water. We're just like feeling the vibrations of what you're doing. What are you aware of that? Do you? I mean, obviously you're aware of it. I don't,
Yeah, it definitely helps charge the music, and it's great to see the people that you've known for a lot of years all getting into the music together and smiling and having a really good time, and it's something that helps feed your own interest in playing well, you know, it is interesting. It's usually best when you're playing is to be pretty loose and not be thinking too much and just sort of letting it come out and just really trying to hone in on the music, and it kind of helps to have a sea of people out there moving, you know, as far as validating you're getting into it, you know, in a way.
And when you create the set list, do you have kind of in mind, like, okay, this is going to build up this way, or does it kind of?
A lot of times it evolves organically in the sense that we have some tunes that we do, and then Keith will usually kind of feel it out and say, like, oh, we need to go in this direction, or bring it down for a minute, you know, take a breath, and then hit them hard for a few songs.
And there could be many reasons for that. It could be the crowd is having an issue, or your voice is having an issue, your guitarist is having an issue. So you have to work the tune around what's going on in the moment, you know. But mostly it's us looking out at the crowd and feeling, you know, it's moving together, you know. And knowing when to take those pauses, you know, to have the slower tune or something like that. But overall, you know, we do 3 hours, so you have, you know, well, my favorite part of the band is the between the songs, the crashes, and anything you got to do to get out of the crash, to, you know, to get to that next tune, to the tempo that it's supposed to be at, or that's the fun part for me.
And I like when you guys are handling, and then you kind of start chatting. You kind of, and I was wondering, like, do you know, like, tonight I'm going to talk about this, or are you just in the moment? I'm just saying what's on my mind.
In the moment, and you know, a lot of times what it is I like especially when I'm going on tour, I like to catch the vibe of the local people. I like to eat it local. I just and I pick it up, and you pick up what's on the zeitgeist of people, and then you can bring that into the show. I also like to be able to date a show, maybe through conversation as to what what was going on at that time, and so there's, you know, we've done that with our live shows, and you'll see that sometimes in the music where you will get an understanding of where we were in time at that time, and it's just like anthropology, you know.
And so you mentioned these recordings. What's it like when you're playing? Because obviously I've never heard you, I mean, I've heard your recording, but I've seen you play live, and how much the audience is a part of it. When you're in the studio, of course, it's just you guys. How do you kind of manifest that energy when it's just you? Is it a completely different experience, or in your mind, are you still, it's like, you know you're playing to people who are going to hear it eventually?
Well, give me a second. I think, personally, when we're inside the mix, you just believe that's that whole sound in that stadium where you're playing to the biggest, you're playing to that one chair way up there, and how do I make that person come into the show? And then I carry that into the studio, but you might have some things.
Oh yeah, that just made me think about, like, when we went down to play in El Paso, and then we went to the Sun Bowl Stadium, and it was empty, and we went out there, and we're sitting out there, you know, we're trying to figure out what we're doing and stuff.
Wait, you were like at a show? You were playing a gig?
We
or
were
you just
playing
at
a gig that night, but we went to the Sun Bowl
beforehand.
empty. It was empty. And then Keith and I sat in the stadium, and we were just like, you know, visualizing, you know, how to play for those people way up there, and things like that. So, I mean, in a way, the studio experience is a little different in the sense that the live shows, there's a lot of room to extend the guitar solos and extend musical sections, and our fans enjoy that, and we enjoy that. And then in the studio, it doesn't really play out like that. We have to kind of be a little bit more arranged, and I mean, I feel like in the last 10 years we've really grown as recording artists, and it is a different, it's a different mindset. Although the what you want to have come out of the speakers in the end is something that makes people feel like, I don't know, uplifted, enjoy the time that they're there listening to what's coming through the speakers, or maybe have a poignant meaning in the vocals that expresses something intellectually or emotionally or something like that. But it is a different. It's a nice tune.
Yeah.
But it is a different experience. But it's best if the songs that you record, then you go to play them live. You know, a lot of times it's like the energy of the song that was defined in the studio experience was well done enough to where when you get it up on stage it comes across, and then a lot of times the arrangements will expand from what the recording is. I mean, that's probably the biggest difference is the freedoms that we take to not be limited to what we have to, you know, you kind of have to be limited to what you're putting down in that amount of time, and when you're playing live, you don't really have to do that if you don't want to. I mean, we've never been the kind of band that, you know, you'll go see some bands and you're going to hear it like it was on the record. I mean, I mean, like I said before, Rush was one of my favorite bands, and they're pretty much going to play the songs like the way that they recorded them. And there's something to be said for that, for sure. But that's not the way our band ever really looked at it.
Yeah,
you know?
For me, it's about the sound. I like. We've been doing this more with the studio stuff. I like to have an A to Z drum track. I don't want to have a bunch of cut and paste.
Sure.
So out there, if you're out there, you're a musician, practice with a metronome, practice, and get into that studio and get into that mindset, because I think you're able to develop bigger waves through these polyrhythms that can happen, and then it's not like quantized. And fortunately, with the drummer that we have right now, it's been astounding to see how this has been working out like that. But the sounds too, a real snare, a real kick. I mean, the toms and the bass, and these are very, very important things that we make sure that you're going to get the best guitars. I mean, on this album coming up, we have how many guitars were on that album already? I mean, it's amazing. But one of them is this.
When you say guitars, like layers of guitar or guitar?
Well, what we like to do is, like with him, the Gibsons. Well, he'll have
literally different
instruments on different. And we're lucky to have that opportunity to be able to pull something off the wall and add to the thing, other than the two, you know, the simple. So just making ear candy and stuff like that. But it's just for me, it's the sound. I mean, I've always been very interested in punchy sound and rhythms, and I loved his lead guitar playing. I mean, it's just, I mean, that's what's kept me here more than anything is hearing him. And
it's quite a compliment.
Yeah,
it is,
and it's true, and well deserved.
Hey, thank you guys. I appreciate that.
We've been blessed with Chuck Hawley and Adam Rahosi, two amazing guitar players, and different in their own way. And so it's just been fantastic when there are three of them on the stage. The way that they're able to get out of each other's way.
And even what Tony was doing here, when Chuck was doing something on the slide and Tony was following, I was like, was that planned? Or are they just in the moment doing so many things? As musicians probably hear it in a different way, just like thinking did Keith say, all right, when you guys do this part, you do, or did that just happen?
Well, it's you learn, I think, over years how to get out of each other's way. And you learn how to fit yourself in. With the prior album, Prevail album, which is going to come out, it's more of a concept. I came from, I was watching the Antiques Roadshow, and there was this rug up there, and they were talking about the story knot in the rug. That's woven in so that the weaver can teach somebody, later on if there's a trouble with the rug, they're able to redo it. So that was a concept we brought into this the prior album, Prevail, and but in there it was all this weaving, and we really got into making it a buoyant thing for the vocal, and so that album really kind of. It taught me a lot about recording. It was a lot of work, That was the hardest album I've ever dealt with. But and then this album, I've never dealt with an easier one. It's just like how fast it's come together. But it also comes from the amount of time and energy that studio experience did. So, but it's for me the music. I just can't get enough of live music.
Yeah,
You know, live
yeah.
drums, live
Yeah.
real people. Get away from those push play.
Yeah.
You know,
Well,
kinda.
I mean, I'm happy to be sitting here because I can tell you honestly, and people ask me my best live music experience is Withdrawals. I'm talking, Van Halen shows. There's some, to me, that's the top. When you're at your peak, being at a Withdrawals show, which you all create, that life that you bring is just, I've just never experienced anything like that. So it's just.
That's awesome,
And
man.
that's,
Thank
and
you.
that's, I don't, you can, it's practice, but God blessed you with something, and however you all came together. But it's magic. Every time I'm just like, this is magic. What's happening here? And so to hear what's going to be on this album, I know it's different than live, but the culmination of all those things is
Man,
going to
I'm
be.
telling you what, this man right here laid some solos. Oh my God, I can't wait for you to hear it.
So when it's ready, how do folks hear? They just go to your website or look
Well,
on
right
Spotify,
now,
or what's?
I have my name in front of thewithdrawals.com. You can go there. And then I think the only way that I know how to hear it is, you got that Alexa. You go, hey,
Yeah.
Alexa.
Yeah.
And I go, hey, can you play me music by Keith Kavula? Or maybe Keith Kavula. And then when you say that, it goes, oh, playing music by Keith Kavula and the Withdrawals. I don't know why,
Yeah.
but that's right now. I'm
Yeah.
learning about
Yes.
how
Yeah.
you do that.
Yeah.
You brand yourself to be able to get to
Sure,
people.
sure.
But so hopefully things will get better with it. But
Yeah.
right now, that's the way. You can look us up on YouTube, Spotify. All our old albums are there.
Okay.
And
Well, when we post this, we'll put all the links and stuff so
Yes,
people
that'd be
can
fun.
find you. Let me ask you, when you're not on stage, when you're not singing, not playing the piano, not playing the guitar, what do you do for fun or to bring yourself peace, or who are you kind of like off stage behind the music?
I'm a family man. I've got I fell in love with a woman that had 5 kids, and then we had a kid together. So I've got a 12-year-old boy that has 2 brothers and 3 sisters, and I have a farming business out in Oregon. So I've jumped into that. That's taken a lot of my time. My mom and my brother are close by, so it's kind of family-oriented stuff for me.
Other like hobbies? What do you do when you're not farming or
when I'm
playing
not
guitar?
farming, I take the boy down to the pond down the street. We go fishing, and I do spend a lot of time trying to keep all the vehicles running. So I do mechanics on things,
Yeah.
I mean, the really things that gear around the family. Cleaning up after people, just basic stuff.
Yeah.
I mean,
You still playing some ping pong or not so much?
not so much. I'm not actively playing ping pong,
Okay,
but
yeah.
I hear a challenge in that though, Seth. That
Oh,
maybe,
we've played before. I enjoyed our time.
I know, and you smoked me pretty good, so.
I know you.
I've heard your prowess on the ping pong table.
How about you? Are you playing?
I play when I can.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
always like to play more, but yeah, I love it. I love to play.
Someday we'll have to get you. We have we call him the biggest fan, Vertical Dave. He's literally 7 foot,
Yeah.
and he plays one arm there, one arm. I mean, he's just like he can get
can't
you.
get it by.
Yeah, it's just amazing.
He's doing this, and you're diving from this one side of the room to the other, trying to get.
I'd like a lesson from Vertical Dave. It sounds good.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what about you, Keith Kavula, when you're not making music?
I like to hike a lot. I like getting out in nature, photography.
Yeah.
I've been getting into landscape photography because it forces me to get out to the places that are just so beautiful.
Yeah.
Out in Nevada, there's no fences.
Yeah.
But no, there's a lot of open dirt road, beautiful mountains, unbelievable streams, cottonwoods. It's a lot different. You're going through the Great Basin and you just think and then you go up to the mountain and you're like, oh
Yeah.
wow, these are trees.
Yeah.
This is
Yeah.
huge stuff.
Comes
And
into focus. When you're
yeah,
there.
I really like it. It's almost like going to the ocean because it's just so big and it allows you to peace out.
Yeah.
The Highway 50 is the loneliest highway,
Yeah.
basically.
Yeah.
But anything north of Vegas, there's really nobody there,
Yeah.
and there's just land
Yeah.
and animals that have never seen a human,
Wow.
that kind of thing.
Yeah.
So, but that to me is some of the best. But more Mostly, I'm in music a lot. I'm really good friends with my buddy Bonsai, and so I've been around the rebuilding of a lot of albums.
Yeah.
I mean, famous, Jimmy Cliff kind of stuff,
Yeah, yeah,
and I've watched him work with all these other people. So I'm learning out there in the studio as well. And yeah, I've been.
Go to shows.
I go to a lot of shows.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Sphere. If you guys don't know about the Sphere, you
Yeah,
guys got
I've heard the
that
myth. I
that
can't
Dead
wait
and
to
Company at the Sphere. I saw you two there, but by God, that is just a dream for a
When are the
storyteller.
Withdrawals playing the Sphere?
That's
Is what we wanna
right.
know.
Well, pretty soon, with any good luck, we can
Yeah.
get there.
Yeah.
Maybe John Mayer, if you're out there, we're
Yeah.
talking to you, buddy. We want to play right on your.
I would
level.
love for my first Sphere visit to be at a Withdrawal show.
Oh, they're going to
Me
make
too.
little small spheres everywhere,
Yeah.
and he's got a place now, John Mayer, from the winnings. I don't know, maybe
Yeah.
winnings. I don't know what that's the word, but
Yeah.
the earnings from the show.
Yeah.
He bought Charlie Chaplin's studio, which also contains Fraggle Rock and the
Wow.
Muppet Studio. So I'm just hoping I get to rehearse out there
Wow.
at least. That'd be
Feel
great.
the spirits in those
Yeah, I'm
walls.
putting it out there.
Wow. So with this new album coming out, are you anticipating like a tour?
Yeah, we're
taking
gonna
on the
push
road?
it. We're gonna go for it. My goal is to do Thursday nights down in Vegas with this guy that owns the Cirque. His name's Derek Stevens. He also runs the Las Vegas downtown events. He does all that kind of stuff. But anyways, I wrote a song for him. I met him in the parking lot one night coming
Yeah.
out of a crazy wild show, and,
Yeah.
and I talked to him about it. And so that tune's it's called Fremont Street, so it's all
Okay.
about like, come on down, show me what you got. If
Yeah.
you're a band, come
Yeah.
on down to Vegas. We want to see what you got,
Yeah.
And so that's our goal is to get one show there and then be able to fly out on the late night, maybe to
Yeah.
LA, to New York, to wherever,
Sure,
Japan,
sure.
wherever,
Yeah.
Maui. So
Uh-huh.
yeah, that's the goals.
Wow. So maybe any memorable tour stories or moments that come to mind that you can share about any? Just
Well, we're celebrating the 25th day. Gardner, Montana. Hello, Gardner. They asked us to come up to play the 25th reunion of us coming to their.
Is
to
that
the-
right?
Yeah, and it's a huge deal. It's fun, to see these people come around. This possibility of us playing there in June is so. I'd say Yellowstone. This man made that happen too. He was.
Yeah, we for 4 or 5 years in a row played up in Yellowstone National Park. All the different lodges up there, they'd hire us to entertain the employees that work up there.
Wow.
That for me was pretty a pretty cool highlight.
Yeah.
I had one experience where I'm on, I think it was the Gardner River, fly fishing, booking a gig on the cell phone at the same time. I caught a gig and a fish roughly at the same time, which was really pretty cool.
Not bad.
But
Double
yeah,
pitch.
I mean that was something that we did a lot of was spend our summers in places we wanted to go. And so
Yeah.
the Mountain West, we would spend a lot of times in the Mountain West, and we would do long tours with short drives
Yeah.
and try to stay in an area. And so like from here, we would play Albuquerque and then Santa Fe and then Taos and then Colorado Springs, Denver. Then we'd hit Cheyenne, Wyoming, and then maybe go up and then playing like Laramie, and then just
Yeah.
puddle jump our way all the way up,
Yeah.
get up to the park area, go through Montana, playing in Helena,
Yeah.
and Livingston, Chico Hot Springs. I mean, so we're driving like 30,
Chico.
50,
Yeah.
30, 50 miles instead of, going from here to Denver to San
Do you all like
Francisco.
switch off? Or you have a designated who's your main driver? You got like have shifts. How does
Yeah,
that work?
it was pretty organic. Our old bass player Danny used to love to drive, so he did a lot of it. He was
Yeah.
always the most sober at the end of the night if we
Yeah.
needed to go or whatever. I mean, not
Okay,
that.
he's not talking about. I want to give you a good one.
Oh, you did do a lot of driving. I mean, we all drove. a
Oh
lot.
yeah,
He's
no,
got
no,
a-
no, no,
he's
no.
got a story
Okay, I
to
got a
say.
story. Okay, so Chico Hot Springs. You'll see a picture of us, and on the eye of Chico is a bottle of Hennessy or Cavassier.
Cavassier.
Yeah. And we floated it. They allowed us at Chico. It used to be a movie star's place out there, and so they told us about these parties where after you get done with the show, we would you would put the lawn chairs into this big pool, and then they floated the hot water. All the new hot spring water would come in, and so we're there at midnight, 1 o'clock in the morning with Yellowstone, stars, I mean, and a bottle of Kavasa going around heated, and it was just like, I mean, that was like delightful way to go, you know, come up, you know, having
things
that
have
flow.
aligned in a nice way.
Yeah, oh, you're just sitting back there looking at those stars going, how is this possible that we get this opportunity to you know, do this, you know, things like
Incredible.
that. Yeah.
And we had a lot of experiences too where, you know, we'd go play some of these mountain towns and there might not be a whole lot of people at the show the first time you go, but the next time the word gets around, there'd
For
be a
sure.
whole bunch of people. And then it's such an awesome way to travel where you have like all these like people that would, they want to show you their Helena, Montana. They want to, I want to cook for the band. No, we're going to cook, you know, they're like fighting over who's going to help accommodate you and stuff. And we had a lot of cool.
Feel not too bad.
No matter how much money you have, you could not experience traveling like that. I mean, there's something about.
I find that like there's a lot of wealthy men that want to have, or women too, that want to have a rock band, right? But if you're in a rock band and it just happens naturally, I just like it.
It is a cool way to travel. People appreciate music. They really do. And we've had so many people come out of the woodwork and help us through, you know, help support us. You know, buy us a tank of gas right when we needed it or something like that. I mean, we've
tires.
We've just had a lot of very, very gracious fans over the years.
I think people have received your gift and they know that by giving to you, you're going to be spreading goodness.
Yeah, it's great. And I know that there's not a whole lot of time left, but one thing I wanted to make sure and mention is that we're really fortunate right now. We have a great band, like the people in the band. I mean, Brian Ostrom,
Brian, got a shot. That guy's
Adam
just
Rahosi,
incredible,
you know, Tony Urant, Chuck Hawley, Mark Clark on drums. Man,
It's like an all-star
you
game.
guys are awesome musicians. And
Awesome musicians.
we
Thank you
appreciate
so
you.
much.
yeah, I mean, you're helping our band, you know, sound like be as fun as ever to play in.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun to play in the band right now.
Yeah. Well, any other closing words before we go? Maybe inspirational words someone has shared with you, or just life lessons that you could pass along?
I continue to tell everybody to get together and interchange your art and music and time with expand it. So I'm trying to put together New Mexico and Vegas, so more like a Southwest stage or Arizona, you know, because we've been throughout all those areas. But I just continue to say, mishmash, get it together. Come together and make something out of it and continue on.
Beautiful.
Yeah, I mean, keep being you and keep doing it better, you know, and take it easy on yourself. Don't be too hard on yourself.
Yeah, learn to forgive yourself.
Yes.
All right. Well, I cannot thank you, fellows, enough for taking the time to be here and for all you do for so many people through your music and through your kindness and just through your good spirit. And I just wish you blessings to all you create and your journey. And I hope to see you 100,000 more times. And just all the best, and thank you, and what a treat you are, and just
thank you all.
keep
Thank you, Seth. That was a fun time doing the interview. Thank you.
Yeah. Pleasure.
Fantastic.
Pleasure. All right. Thanks for being with us today, everybody.